In the eerie silence of the night, under the soft, deceptive glow of the moon, something extraordinary was about to unfold. A train, heavy with untold riches, chugging along an unassuming railway line, was about to be the stage for an audacious act of thievery. This was no ordinary crime. This was the heist of the century, a daring feat of cunning and courage that would forever change the annals of criminal history. But how did a band of thieves outsmart the authorities and pull off the heist of the century? To understand the audacity of this crime, we need to journey back in time. Let's venture back to the mid-19th century. With the advent of the railway system, trains became the lifeblood of trade and commerce, transporting precious cargo across vast distances. Naturally, these moving treasure chests attracted the attention of opportunistic bandits. The first recorded train robbery in the United States dates back to 1855, when a band of thieves made off with a small fortune in gold dust from an Ohio train. As the decades rolled on, train robberies became a Wild West staple. Names like Jesse James and Butch Cassidy became legendary, their daring exploits making headlines across the globe. They were the rock stars of their era, their audacious heists inspiring everything from dime novels to Hollywood films. But as these crimes became more prevalent, so too did the countermeasures designed to thwart them. By the early 20th century, trains were equipped with advanced security systems, including armed guards, reinforced safes, and alarm systems. The golden age of train robberies seemed to be fading into the annals of history. However, as with any challenge, there were those who saw these heightened security measures not as deterrents but as invitations. These were criminals of a different breed. They were smarter, more audacious, and willing to take bigger risks. They saw the armored trains not as impenetrable fortresses, but as puzzles to be solved, challenges to be overcome. One such group of audacious criminals would come together to plan and execute a heist that would go down in history as the most daring and audacious of them all. They would target a train, not in the lawless Wild West, but in the heart of modern, civilized England. This was no ordinary heist. It was a meticulously planned operation that required precision, timing, and an intimate knowledge of the train's security systems. This context makes the audacious heist we're about to explore even more astonishing. The stakes were higher, the risks greater, and the payoff, well, that's a story for the next scene. Behind every daring heist is a team of unique individuals, each with their own set of skills. Now let's draw back the curtain and meet the masterminds behind the most audacious train robbery of the century. First, we have the brains, the orchestrator of this grand scheme. A genius strategist with an unrivaled understanding of trains and their routes, he was the one who identified the perfect target, a train laden with untold riches. Then, there's the muscle, a man of incredible strength and agility. His role was crucial in the operation, handling the heavy lifting and ensuring a swift execution of the plan. His physical prowess was matched only by his steely resolve. Next in line is the safecracker, a maestro of manipulation. This individual had the uncanny ability to crack any lock or safe. His nimble fingers danced over the dials, finding the right combination as if by magic. The fourth member was the lookout, a sentinel with hawk-like vision and an acute sense of danger. Always vigilant, always alert, his role was to keep the team one step ahead of any unexpected surprises. Lastly, we have the ghost, an expert in stealth and evasion. She was the shadow that moved unnoticed, the whisper that went unheard. Her job was to ensure that the team left no traces behind, disappearing into the night as silently as they came. Together, these 5 individuals formed a formidable team, each bringing their unique talents to the table. Their plan was intricate, their preparation meticulous. They studied the train's route, the security measures, the timing, and every possible contingency. They rehearsed their roles over and over, refining their movements until they were second nature. They were ready for the unexpected, prepared for the unthinkable. They knew the risks, the stakes, and the potential rewards. They were resolved to succeed no matter what. But the question remained, would their careful planning and preparation be enough to outwit the authorities and pull off the heist of the century? Their meticulous planning and preparation were nothing short of extraordinary, but would it be enough? We'll soon find out as we delve into the night of the daring heist. The night of the heist had arrived. The stakes were high, and so were the risks. Underneath a blanket of darkness, our audacious band of thieves set in motion a plan meticulously crafted over countless hours. The moonlight cast long shadows as they moved stealthily towards their target, a train, chugging along the tracks, oblivious to the impending heist. Like phantoms, they slipped aboard, each one a master in their own right. their unique skills a vital cog in the intricate machine that was this operation. The conductor, unsuspecting, maintained a steady pace, the rhythmic chug of the engine masking the silent dance of the thieves on board. A locksmith, known for his nimble fingers and uncanny ability to decode any lock, silently stepped forward. His task was the first hurdle, bypassing the security of the train's safe. The tension was palpable as he worked, his fingers dancing over the cold metal, coaxing it to give up its secrets. One wrong move could spell disaster. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew were not idle. A master of disguise blended seamlessly with the other passengers, a silent sentinel watching for any signs of trouble. Another thief, a former acrobat, navigated the narrow confines of the moving train with ease, ready to spring into action at a moment's notice. Back at the safe, a soft click echoed in the silence. The locksmith had done it. The safe was open, revealing its glittering contents. The thrill of success was short-lived, however. They still had to abscond with the loot. A thief, known for his strength, stepped forward, carefully transferring the riches into specially designed bags that would distribute the weight evenly. It was a delicate operation. A single misstep could send the treasure clattering to the floor, alerting the entire train. With the loot secured, they began their retreat, moving as silently as they had come. The train continued its journey, none the wiser of the audacious heist that had just taken place under its very nose. As the first rays of dawn pierced the night sky, they disembarked, disappearing into the wilderness as the train chugged on, its precious cargo significantly lighter. In just a few hours they had pulled off the unthinkable. But the real challenge was yet to come. As the sun rose, the world woke up to the audacious crime. The news of the heist spread like wildfire, leaving a trail of shock and disbelief in its wake. Authorities were quick to respond, launching a global manhunt that would span continents and oceans. No stone was left unturned, no lead left unfollowed. The scale of the investigation was immense, rivaling the most extensive manhunts in history. From the bustling streets of London to the quiet corners of rural England, the search was relentless. The authorities were determined, yet the thieves, ever cunning, always seemed to be one step ahead. They navigated the labyrinth of the underground, evaded capture, and slipped through the fingers of justice time and time again. In this high-stakes game of cat and mouse, close calls became the norm. There were moments when capture seemed inevitable, when the net was closing in, yet each time the thieves managed to escape, vanishing into the shadows just as the authorities closed in. Their audacity, their skill, and their luck kept them out of reach, leaving the world to wonder. Who were these daring individuals, and how could they possibly evade capture for so long? This was not just a manhunt, it was a race against time, a battle of wits, a testament to the audacity of the human spirit. The chase was on, but would the authorities ever catch them? As we reflect on this daring heist, it brings to the fore some intriguing questions. Ethical dilemmas often emerge from the most unexpected corners, and this tale of audacity and cunning is no exception. As we marvel at the skill and audacity it took to pull off such a feat, we can't help but grapple with the moral quandaries it presents. This isn't a simple tale of good versus evil, law versus crime. It's a narrative that blurs the line, forcing us to question our own perceptions of right and wrong. Is it possible to admire the brilliance of the plan, the flawless execution, and the daring escape, while condemning the act itself? Can we separate the crime from the criminals, the act from the actors? In the end, we're left with a paradox. A captivating story that enthralls and engages, yet leaves us wrestling with complex moral and ethical questions. So where do you stand? Was it the audacity of the act that captivated you, or the moral implications that left you pondering?